Hello everyone, welcome to Afro Swag Media and Magazine. My name is Deborah. I'll be your host on this show. And today I have a very special guest. Her name is Dr. Abi. I'll bring her right now to the camera. Hello, Dr. Abi.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, I don't mind. Or rather, no, I don't mind. I'm Abi Adegboye. I am an author of young adult fiction and nonfiction, as well as a John Maxwell leadership coach, trainer, and speaker.
Wow, welcome to the show. So, you mentioned you are involved with young adult youth training. Tell me about it. I didn't know that John Maxwell had a program for young adults.
Yes, it's a relatively new part of the John Maxwell team training, but in that it used to be just adults, but now we have a global youth initiative, and he's very passionate about training young people in leadership to give them principles that early in life sets them apart. Early in life, they know where they're going. And even when they don't know, they make better choices. They make better choices, and their lives are so much better because of those choices. So yes, the Maxwell team is very passionate about leadership training for all ages, but particularly the Global Youth Initiative, which for us, I train as an adult, but then there are also youth leaders that actually do the training themselves. That's just awesome.
Okay, so Dr. Abi, tell me about a little bit of your background and how you got to specialize in youth leadership.
Okay. I grew up in Nigeria, Western Nigeria, as the second of three girls. And I always was interested in leadership, actually. I was always interested in politics, for that matter. I remember as a young person, I would go on the buses during campaigns. And the funny thing about politics in Nigeria is everybody is involved, even when they're not running for office. Then you hear all kinds of conversations. Oh, it was rigged. No, this what has happened. How can you say such a thing? And it's always just so lively. And I was always vested in those types of conversations. But for the most part, women are not engaged, that they are not encouraged to pursue such a line. And so ultimately, I studied it. I got a PhD in political science and just the art of politics. One thing that we're lacking, for the most part, we have hits and misses, but mostly misses is leadership capacity across the border in Africa. We do not have leadership capacity. It is something we need to build consciously in every organization, in every area, every sphere of engagement. Economically, we need to build leadership capacity. Whereas you have company heads that with a clear conscience can lock people in their factories in this day and era of COVID. I mean, there's just too many examples of failed leadership that we need to focus on it and build that capacity. And Africa is a young continent, so we're better to start than start with the young. They're all over the place. So that's why I am passionate about building leadership capacity in our youth. And that's what I believe we should all be invested in.
I was reading a little bit about your background, and on your website, it says that you are one of the three girls. You have two other siblings, and growing up, you were like a tomboy.
Yeah, that's that's my other side. I think I've always been adventurous, like, hey, do whatever it takes. But yeah, we were three girls. I'm the middle child. And as you know, the middle child has a bit more laxity than the older one, you know, the first child. And also, I just had that spirit of, hey, if somebody's got to do it, it's got to get done. So I was the one to go climb the pawpaw tree to get you fruit, or the one to ensure that we kill the rats where that existed. You know, my daughter read that the other day and she was like, you did what?
Kill rats.
This is somebody who runs from cockroaches and said, sugar, you don't know how good it.
And like you said, you don't really find women in politics. And from reading your background, it seems like you always want to challenge, and defy people. Is that right?
Challenge, yes. Define, no. It's not necessary. As far as I'm concerned, if we don't train, we can't blame. We're not building leadership in our youth. We're not building from the grass up. For instance, when a person is rich, instead of training the children to take on after them, they train them to be indolent. Then they're just spoiled for wealth. This is just, everything is handed to them. Kids having servants of their own. And so we lose that leadership opportunity. We lose a key candidate for leadership in industry, when rather than taking over from the father, they ruin that company in less than one generation. At least in the developed world, it takes 2 to 3 generations before they sink the corporation. And then there's some that are proven unsinkable because they somewhat train the next generation after them. Because we don't focus on leadership, we lose that capacity. We lose, and you see that gap. And it's across the board, whether we look at it in politics, or we look at it in industry, or we look even in the secular world, or even in religious circles. Look at our churches today. You have the average age of our pastors at 50 something. Where are the 30 somethings? They don't even come to the services. They don't come to the services. The best you get is 1 or 2, and they have kids. But as soon as those kids can drive, they walk out. And those are areas that we shouldn't shrug our shoulders and say, yeah, that's how it is. We should consciously work towards bridging the gap. We should consciously develop leadership capacity for every generation, every age, and particularly catch them young. Catch them young, they can still learn. And these are lessons that will serve them a lifetime. You wait for them to grow and mature and kind of become rigid, and you've lost them.
And I know for a fact that last weekend you had an initial meeting with some of the youth that were registered, and you have an upcoming youth leadership mastermind workshop. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
So last week was a relaunch, not so much as, yes, I used to do this on site and to go to places, but this time we're going all virtual. So anywhere in the world, from the comfort of your home, early Saturday mornings, come join us. And so we have a workshop that is starting September 5, I think. Is that the first Saturday in September?
Okay.
Yeah, so first Saturday in September, for 7 weeks, we're going to be doing youth leadership training workshop. And that's just 1 hour, I'm central, so 9 to 10 a.m. CST. And we just hit on leadership principles, one after the other. And we unpack it. It's a comfortable environment where you can open your mind. If, for instance, you have doubts or concerns, or these are just not topics everyone raises, right? But these are topics that we need to discuss. Character matters, foundation matters, generosity in a leader, direction in a leader, how you make decisions. Those are topics that you can then unpack and meet your colleagues. And we talk about you walk away knowing more than when you walked in, and also thinking in a different way. Why? Because in our day to day, none of these topics just come up. You're not like sitting down like, oh yeah, character matters, right? But these are foundational leadership principles that if you don't learn them early, they're going to hurt you later in life. And so that's why we do the youth leadership workshops and invest in them, those principles that would last a lifetime and that would be beneficial both for them, but more importantly for the community.
So is there any specific age group that you're looking at?
15 to 24.
15 to 24.
Yeah, thereabout. Yes, that's our magic age group. I kind of just went Google. Okay, what is a youth? That's 15 to 24. So be more even towards the 15 side, 15 to 20, 15 to 20. You're in your you're in your high school years, right? Your high school, post-high school years, immediate post-high school years. Then you're launching, so to speak, into the world. There are lessons that are coming at you fast and furious these days. There are many of our children that are just out of it now, too much coming at them at once. They don't know how to process it. So this is a safe space for them to process some of those things. What makes a good leader? What makes a bad leader? Why are things happening the way they're happening? How do you see yourself? How do you place yourself in the world? So last week, what we dealt with is leading during crisis. For some of them, you will think, oh, what are they leading? But a firstborn is a leader any day. Another child is a leader,
Mm-hmm.
the way we structure our hierarchy in our homes. The next in line is a leader. Next in line, I was talking to a young lady of about 12 the other day. I said, oh, congratulations, your sister is heading to college. Is she going to be in town? No, she's not going to be in town. And then I asked, so what are you going to do? Well, I already know how to cook some dishes, but I'm going to have to learn some more. Do you see how she stepped up to the leadership position?
Right.
Yes. So when we give them those responsibilities, we also need to equip them to excel in those positions.
Mm-hmm.
We need to help them excel. And that gives them confidence in home, out of home.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So it's not just like when they're out in the community, but you're tackling every aspect of their lives.
Foundational principles are foundational principles. They will serve you in your personal life, but they will also serve you in your professional life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me, where do people go to register for the summit?
You can register on my website, and that is www.abiadegboye.com. So that's abiadegboye.com. And that's for the September 5th summit. And again, it's a youth summit, not for everybody.
So guys, if you're watching or if you just join the conversation, Dr. Abi, she is specialized in youth leadership and she has an upcoming event. It will be the first week of September. And you can go to www.abiadegboye.com to register your youth. She is looking into empowering from ages 15 through 24, and it can be both boys and girls.
Definitely.
Okay. Go there and register. Is there a deadline to when they can register?
Possibly the last week in August.
Okay.
Yeah,
Last week of August is the deadline.
September. So last week in August, that's the deadline. We start first week in September. But
Mhm.
then you have your materials. We would have sent our participants the materials, and then we would start the workshops, looking into those materials together, and just
Mhm.
sharing ideas. Sharing ideas. It provides a safe space to talk about critical issues that could be bothering your youth. You don't know, but because you
Mhm.
never bring up such things, they never tell you. Yet they matter.
Is there a cost?
Not on this one.
Oh
No.
wow, guys, it's a free
Yes,
workshop.
yes,
She is certified, Dr. Abi is certified with John Maxwell
yes.
program, leadership program. So, guys, go to the website again here and register your youth. They will benefit from this. They can learn skills that they will be able to apply in so many different areas of their lives, whether it's at home, out in the community, at the workplace, whatever it is. This is like 360 degrees. They
Yeah.
can they can apply it to every and any aspect of their lives. The youth leadership mastermind workshop coming up. Make sure you don't miss it. Go to their website and register your youth. And this is to build the personal qualities to take responsibility for themselves and for their actions, express themselves, um, handle problems and decisions when they arise,
Yeah.
lead themselves first, and influence their circles positively. Wow. They
Yeah.
will, I mean, do you do for adults as well? I know on Sundays you run a podcast or a live on social
Yeah.
media, and it's mostly on leadership. Tell me
Yeah.
about those podcasts.
So I talk about leadership on Sundays, on Facebook. And essentially, these are skills for adults, for everyone, really, for everyone listening. These are skills that we need to, for some of us, remind ourselves, for others of us, learn. These are skills that matter to how we live our lives. Conflict resolution, for instance, it's an invaluable skill, but so many of us just wave it aside, or we have those I'm sorry. I just remember we have those cryptic messages you put on Facebook, like somebody is fighting with someone. And it's like when somebody walks out of your life, don't go chasing after them. And I'm like, please just go learn some conflict resolution skills. you know, don't put your business out there on social media.
And
And
you
then
know, a lot people are using that as the avenue to deal with those issues when there's something going on. It's like a free consultation with a I don't know, psychologist, therapist. That's what social media is for. You just put it out there and obviously somebody is going to read it, right?
I know, right? Yeah, instead of if you have conflict resolution skills, for instance, you're able to isolate the conflict. You also are able to come to a somewhat of a conciliation. Yes, there are people you can't work with, but it's not everyone. And there's so much disagreement that just metastasizes into so much. When if you had just communicated, we wouldn't be there. These are skills we all need to pick up. Uh, when we talk about building a community, these are skills we all need to pick up. How many associations have you belonged to that they dissolved overnight, or they just in fighting, and everyone there's a click, and a click, and you wonder why are we gathering together if we're not together? So those are things that I believe that we should, as the as communities start talking about, and as we talk about them, we get better.
Yeah, as we talk about that, we get better. So you're not just a public speaker, or you run workshops, various podcasts, and youth leadership mastermind workshop, but you are also an author. You are an author, and these are some of your works. Wanna be Press or Wambi? Renike comes to America. But okay, tell me about first. Wanna be Press?
So I have a mastermind on this one, by the way. So one of the prayers, and writing is my very first love. That's it. That is my very first love. I write both fiction and nonfiction. One of the prayers, 10 Life Strategies from President Barack Obama's Journey to the White House, is a book very dear to my heart. It's short, it's written for you, and this is again to build that leadership capacity. This is a young man that nobody believed could go anywhere. And he became president of the United States, not just once, twice. How did he do it? This is charting his course from the day he declared his candidacy to winning that election. He showed up. He 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 put the haters on mute. In other words, he didn't mind the naysayers. He didn't mind those who called him out of his name. He knew what race he was running and he kept running. He got, he got people to back him. So you put together a posse of people that will back you, which is again going back to how to work with people. That's a leadership quality, being able to work with other people, whether they're dissenters or supporters. So that's what this book is about. 10 principles that you can walk away with and be so much better in your leadership game.
You know, you said three things very important when it comes to having a journey such as President Barack Obama. Show up. Show up is big. When you show up, you've already won. Put the haters on mute. That's my favorite one. Put the haters on mute, right? And
Yes.
don't mind the naysayers.
No, you can't. If you pay too much of an attention to them, you will be playing their game, and you can't beat them at that game.
Mm-mm. Wow. Show up. Put the haters on. And you have much more in that book. Wanna be pressed. And
Yes,
I mean, it doesn't just have to be, your goal doesn't have to be aiming to become a president of the United States. No, whatever your goal
yes.
is,
Hmm.
get
Hmm.
this book. Wanna
Yeah,
be pressed. These 10
yeah.
principles these 10 principles, they can be applied in any areas of
Area of
your
your life,
life. Yeah.
any area of your life, any area of
Mm-hmm.
your life. It's a workbook too, so you write it as you are making it happen for yourself, because these are principles that when you apply, you find that you're way ahead. Way ahead of the curve. You're getting things done that needs to be done.
Right.
This is the
Right.
first candidate that's campaigning in all 50 states and
Mm-hmm.
abroad,
Mm-hmm.
both virtual and in person. He
There is
was
a lot to
free.
learn from him. Absolutely. I agree. And then your next work is Owambi.
Yes. This is nonfiction, but it is cultural.
Mhm.
So I'm Yoruba. I'm Yoruba from Western Nigeria, and so this is just how we do what we do. So we do the 8-day naming, the baby's naming ceremony. We do age grades. That is, at a certain age, a boy graduates into uh, his own group, his age group. So we do those. Then we do weddings. And then we have milestones as you age through life. Your first car, your first house, your chieftaincy title, and then last right. So there's a lot of culture embedded in being Yoruba that you do need to know what to do when. We kind of have a rite of passage for each event of life. And you see us today is like, oh, they're partying again, but there's a method to the madness, right? So that's what this book is about. I wrote this for the generations after me, just so they don't forget, and just so I don't forget while in diaspora.
And then Renike comes to America.
Renike Comes to America is one of the three novellas I wrote. So Renike Comes to America, Fine Sissy, and Charlie Baby. Those were three novellas, and they're all combined in Ibadan Girls Trilogy. Again, short stories talking about heroine and her journey through life. Renike came to America and they told her that she'll be picking money off the streets. How many of us have been told that? And everything is just gonna be fine. You're all done better. And all of the dreams and ideals that people come with to the United States, only to get here and the spouse is overwhelmed by all of the baggage of baby, mama, responsibilities all
Mhm.
at once, creates issues in the marriage. She's abandoned. She has to fend for herself, and she the dreams are busted. But then she has to
Mhm.
pick up new ones, like so many. In fact, the
And
funny thing about this book is the funny thing about Renike is I met someone who was like, "Did you speak to my mom?" And I said, "Because it's the story of so many immigrant women, though, you know, and that's what you find in here."
I think we have a comment. I'm trying to show the comments here.
Okay,
Um, I don't know.
is
Let
that from
me.
Afro Swag?
Yeah, from Afro Swag, we just had a comment.
I thought
Maybe
the
the
person was repeating what you said.
I'm sorry.
Wasn't the person repeating what you said?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there are comments, if you're watching, you have comments or questions, please put them in the comment box and we'll make sure we address it. Wow, that's impressive, Dr. Abby. All
Yeah.
these books that you've authored, and do you have any upcoming projects when it comes to writing?
Yes, I do. You know why I laugh? This weekend is writing weekend. So last weekend I was speaking. So this weekend is for writing, is for ensuring that I have an illustrator that's waiting for uh, a kid's book because I do that too. Actually, that's where I started. This is Butterfly. It's not commercial, but it's a picture book.
Oh, wow.
So I have an illustrator that's waiting on me right now. I hope you're not watching. But this weekend I'm gonna finish the manuscript, send it out to him, and we'll go from there. So yes, I have quite a few works in the pipeline. Unfortunately, let me not share names because that's how you'll be like, didn't you say you finished this month? I don't have firm deadlines yet because I want to work harder on the masterminds and ensuring that that's going before I complete those manuscripts.
Now I
I
see the
can.
comment. It's from
Hi, Kitty. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Dr. Abby. Hi, glad you're watching. And we have Martin also that was watching. Moment ago,
Thank
if you're still
you.
watching, thank you for connecting and everybody that is watching. Dr. Abby, we will take a quick break. And
Okay.
then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the upcoming youth mastermind workshops, and we will let people know where they can go to sign up. It's from age 15 to 25.
Yes.
Well, that was really short. So that is the new summer edition of the magazine that is out. We have a young man that we have featured on the cover page, and this is Dean. It's amazing. Go get a copy and read about his story. And at the back, we have this amazing young lady. Her name is Marisa. Morisa, go read about her. And we have so many great leaders, great players in the African diaspora that we have featured. Get a copy, go to that website, get a copy, and you'll surely be blessed. A lot to read and discover in this summer edition. So before we took that quick 2-second break, we were talking about the youth leadership, the youth mastermind coming up in September.
Yes. Yes, we're starting the first week of September. So
Mhm.
registration is currently ongoing. You want to sign up your youth or in your church or in your organization. You want to sign up your youth as a parent. Please go to my website at www.abiadegboye.com and
Mhm.
sign them up. We start in September and we run for 7 weeks. So every Saturday morning, not too bright and early, early enough so that it's not quite an inconvenience at the same time. I
Mm.
think it's fine. I think 9 is fine. Uh,
So this is going to be via Zoom, I'm assuming.
Them, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Zoom, and it's completely free this time. And we kind of showed a little bit about what they're going to learn, to build personal qualities, to take responsibility for themselves and their actions, express themselves, handle problems and decisions when they arise, lead themselves first, and influence their circles positively. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's not just like giving them theories, but it's practical and it's the full circle. How
Yes,
they can
ma'am.
learn all these skills, apply it, and be the influence. Catch them when they're young. That's what they say. So, Dr. Abi, she is specialized in this, and as you can see, she's very passionate about political science and leadership, youth leadership. She has lots of experience. She does her podcast every Sunday at 4 p.m. on social media about leadership. I mean, you should connect to listen to that and participate. She tackles a lot. And we were just a moment ago talking about conflict resolution. If you don't have that skills, if you don't know what to do, how to solve those problems and how to deal and cope with them, then you go to social media and you start an argument. Nowadays, even if you want to argue with people, just put an opinion, a thought on social media and watch it happen. So I just had another comment from Kitty. She said, "Oh, great. Yes, thank you so much for watching." Anything else that you want to talk about, Dr. Abby, or if you want to give a shout out to anybody, this is the time.
Okay, well, I shout out to Martin, I shout out to Kitty, to Judy. She's probably lucky somewhere. I think we have a great community here, and I do appreciate us. I appreciate you, Deborah. I like the fact that we are supporting one another and that we are building bridges of collaboration, whether it's Afro Maha, Afro Swag, uh, MK Creations, God's got your back. I mean, the boss. Take one day. I
Martin
love the
Quality.
collaboration. I love the energy. I love what Kitty is doing. I love the fact that I can call you to call this person, call that person, and the quality is there in the sense that we're not busy, backbiting and all that drama. We're able to rise to the occasions when we need to support one another. I'm Mama G. I have not forgotten you.
We love you, Mama Flo. We call her affectionately Auntie Florence, Mama G.
Yes, I love what we're doing. Show DJ Show Guy, thank you for the support through this pandemic. I mean, so many of our businesses have been kind of sidelined, really bigger blows for some more than others, but everyone's been hit. And the fact that we're supporting one another matters a lot. If you're feeling down or out, or just reach out to a brother, we reach out to a sister and get the support that you need. You might be down, but don't get out. Just don't get out of the game. Hang in there.
And don't forget this big nugget that Dr. Abi put out there. Show up, put the
Yeah.
haters on mute, don't mind the naysayers when your goal is big. When
Yes.
your vision is big and you're trying to accomplish something really big, these little things like obstacles or distractions shouldn't matter.
Mhm.
Just show up no matter what's going on or what people are saying and put the haters on mute. I love that one. I so love it. Well, we've come to the end of our show today. You've been watching Afro Swag Media and Magazine, and today we had the honor to host Dr. Abi Adegboye. You can go to her website to see the work that she is doing in the African diaspora. And don't forget her upcoming Youth Leadership Summit Mastermind workshop. It's from age 15 to 24. It's free for everyone. Go to her website to register your youth. You have till the end of August 2020 to register them. It's going to be for 7 weeks on Saturday mornings via Zoom. So, no excuses. Until next, thank you for watching Afro Swag Media Magazine. Let's come together, let's engage, let's narrate our own stories, and let's empower one another. It's the ethnic wave. Bye bye.
Thank you.